And good Wednesday morning. Welcome into the Chase and Big Joe show right here on 102.5 The Game. Give you a little time for the open so Robbie Stanley can get to the car so we could heap praise on one Robbie Stanley. By the way, Robbie and Rexford, best sports show around. Nothing comes close to that. Chase McCabe still on assignment. In for Chase is the one and only Dr. Crane. And behind the glass is Ian.
Hi.
Who's running things. Dr. Crane, good morning to you.
Good morning, Joe.
I see you overstepped your cue again.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm excited.
You're excited because you got soccer tonight.
Yeah, and it's hump day.
It is hump day.
Everything is good today.
Who does Nashville SC have tonight?
DC United.
Oh, love them in concert.
Yeah.
By the way, I go to the airport every once in a while and I'll smoke a cigar and watch planes land.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the DC United plane come in last night.
Did you? Was it wrapped in everything?
It was not.
Oh.
But they had a bunch of buses pull up, and it's where all the teams park when they come to town, and saw them deboard and get on the in the buses and head over to where they're going.
Well, they're probably going to a nice palatious hotel.
Probably. Who wins tonight?
Nashville. Yeah, I think Nashville wins probably 2-1.
2-1? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maybe 2-0.
2-0, right? Is DC
man.
United any good?
They're 12th in the Eastern Conference, so they're near the bottom of the barrel. But, those are like I mentioned to you yesterday, those are the tough games that you got to go up against is when you come off a tough game against Philadelphia over the weekend and you come into a midweek fixture, as some people call it. DC United's not playing for anything in the league, so go after it in this tournament.
So this game tonight counts nothing in the MLS standings.
That is correct.
That is so
it's another opportunity to win a championship.
That is so insane. And I'm not getting into it again because it made my head hurt yesterday.
Yeah. It's kind of like trying to win the AFC South while trying to win a Super Bowl. That's the best way to put it.
So I'm watching Channel 5 in the studio. They got scattered showers and storms tonight.
Uh-oh.
No lightning delays, please.
Yeah, I can't do that. Cannot do that.
Was there a lightning delay recently over there?
Yeah, for the Club World Cup. I think it was the Boca Juniors game. It was like a Wednesday 2 p.m. game. And there was like heat lightning. And they said, there's lightning in the area. We got to stop play. And they stopped for like almost an hour and a half.
Oh, sorry that the lightning interrupted your plans so that nobody was hit by lightning in the crowd.
But there was
sorry about that.
No, but there was no lightning that I could see in the area. I looked up. There was nothing.
That's it. It's okay.
I was thinking about that though. It is weird how we've gone from 0 to 60 with the lightning delays.
Yeah.
Well,
I get
no
it.
problem with it.
I get it. It's a safety situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, concerts and sporting events did not used to stop because of outdoor rain
I don't
and
remember. I remember in high school, there was a guy at a high school here in town that was killed during football practice, hit by lightning.
Yeah.
And that was like, and then after that, it was like, all right, anytime there's lightning within like 20 miles,
yeah,
done.
But I just, I just don't remember that happening a lot back in the day. I don't remember really long lightning delays. I don't remember outdoor concerts making everybody leave and then come back in.
Point.
I get it. It's probably the safe thing to do, but I just wonder where that kind of switched.
It confuses me because when I was at the game on that 2 Wednesdays ago, I was sitting down and I was luckily underneath I was in the bottom, row or bottom bowl, and it kind of had that canopy over the second row. And I was sitting in a metal chair. Like everybody that was under the canopy was sitting in metal chairs. And yet they said, hey, it's lightning. And I just didn't.
What does that mean?
You get struck by lightning with a metal, you're sitting in a metal
chair. So
it's
a good thing they canceled. They stopped the game.
Well, yes, for a safety perspective, but no, because I'm sitting in it. Like if I'm sitting in a metal chair and those guys are on the field, like, come on, well, just play.
Don't they?
I'm the one that's more risk than them.
But don't they take them off the field?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want rubber. Maybe they should just make the chairs all out of rubber.
Or just plastic.
Or older tires.
Maybe how about you not have a chair?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Sit your ass on the ground.
Or just stand and cheer all day.
Okay. I'm not doing that.
Some people did.
All right. So your social calendar was interrupted a little bit for some lightning.
Yeah.
For a tad bit.
Yeah, for a tad bit, yeah.
I had back to your question, Ian. I went to dozens and dozens and dozens of concerts at Starwood. Not one time, and I remember a Buffett show, it poured nonstop, and I remember lightning.
Yeah.
And they did not say, hey, evacuate.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly when that kind of started to happen, but it's just something I was thinking about mostly when they canceled Bonnaroo this year. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about how old the Bonnaroo, how it's changed over the years. just in general. Some for the good, some for the bad.
Right.
But how there were times, when it first started in the 2000s where it was storming, it was pouring, and they would just play through it.
They would.
Now they make everybody evacuate Centeroo concert area, go back to your car, wait it out,
Right.
and then you can go back into the concert quote venue part.
Holy
Chaos.
cow. You were so right on that. Dad.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand why they do it now.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, what was there a specific event that made everybody kind of this industry standard to switch?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I remember 03, the Titans had a preseason game versus Green Bay at Green Bay that didn't end till 1:00 in the morning because of lightning up in Green Bay, and they played the game, but the lightning, and so that's back the earliest I remember the lightning. So hopefully your little lightning doesn't disrupt your plans this evening.
No, hopefully it won't. If it does, then be a big boy and suck it up.
Okay, so they're going to win tonight.
Yeah, they should win 2-1.
Okay, good.
Official prediction, that is.
It's about that time. Ian, are you ready? About the time for the
It's the final
All right, we are 45 days from the start of college football. 45 days from the college football kickoff on August 23rd. Now, Tennessee and Vandy and MTSU play August 30th. That's the next week, but there are games on the 20th. I feel like I got to say that every time because people argue with me. Like, I get it, but that's Saturday before games play. So it's 45 days out before the first game. Dr. Crane, you have a favorite number 45.
I do. Ahmad Hall, former Tennessee Titan. He served in the military along with playing football at the same time. Well, not same time, but,
Kind of. He
Sort
was
of.
still in Marine Reserve Corps. Yeah.
So I just think if you're a fullback and you do that, that's just badass.
All 45s for the Titans that have played right now. It was Dante Foreman was 45, Jalston Fowler 45, Ahmad
Nudie.
Hall. Nudie, that's right.
Mhm.
I asked him one time why they called him Nudie, and he wouldn't answer me. He says, they have my teammates, and I asked a teammate why they call him Nudie, and then put it this way. If I was Jalston Fowler, I wouldn't wear pants. I'd just walk around all day long. That guy was built like a you-know-what, man. And the teammates were like, yeah, he's Nudie for a reason. I was like, holy cow. This story won't air on the news tonight. We get all that. Who else? Dylan Cole, Chance Campbell.
Yeah, linebacker.
We're all 45s for Tennessee. As I lose my voice here. For
all
John Simon was 45. Derek Mason remembers John
Ahmad
Simon.
Hall was the first one that stuck out to me. Yeah.
So I got a quick Ahmad Hall story for you.
Love it.
So they used to have a thing called Titans All Access. And so this was the Giants game in 2010. And Ahmad Hall's mic'd up. And Vince rolls out. Remember the play? Ahmad Hall's wide open in the end zone. And Vince throws a bounce pass to him. Awful. Vince Young could not throw the football at all, especially short, like 8-yard pass. So they said they go back to the sideline, and Ahmad Hall starts ripping Vince apart with the microphone. Basically said, hey, man, I got a contract year. I got to score touchdowns. This ain't helping me. And just went off on Vince Young. So much they all the F-bombs and words, you couldn't use that anymore. So Ahmad Hall, why you turn your microphone off for?
Just,
There you go.
for purpose.
That's
Yeah,
all. We're good, man.
Tell your story.
So Ahmad Hall always stood out that way because I remember him getting so mad over a bounce pass that Vince Young threw him. So Ahmad Hall, 45. That's
They
a
were
good one.
teammates in college too, weren't they?
They were teammates in college.
Yeah.
They had a weird relationship. I don't think they got along because Ahmad Hall is like 5 years older than everybody else.
Yeah, because I guess he went to the military and
Yeah.
then came back. Yeah.
But you tell that dude to go, says, I need you on this play to go hit the vendor in section 104. That dude would go hit the vendor in section 104. I mean, he did everything that you needed him to. He was great. Very underrated player.
Yeah.
Kind
I
of
think-
walked on at Texas, walked on for the Titans.
I think fullbacks in general it's an underrated position, not used as much anymore in football, which I wish it would. It's used as like an H-back now, isn't it?
Bring him back.
Yeah, bring him back. Bring him back. What would you consider Mike Allstott? Running back, fullback?
What's fullback?
Yeah, people look at Peyton Hillis as like a hybrid fullback running back.
Allstott, you could put as a hybrid.
Yeah.
Who?
Allstott, I put him as a hybrid.
Mike Allstott?
Could, yeah, but I mean, he was built and
He was built like a fullback, that's for sure.
Yeah.
and his title was fullback
Okay.
when he came out. So he was a fullback. And so were a lot of them. I mean, I'm trying to think Eddie George never had a fullback. Barry Sanders never had a fullback. Rocky Blyer was a fullback for Franco Harris with the Steelers. Like who?
Lorenzo Neal played a little fullback here, right?
Lorenzo Neal did. Yeah. Heck yeah, he was a great fullback. He had 1,000 yards with the Saints. And then he got bulked up and became a fullback. Daryl Johnston for the Cowboys.
Oh, he's definitely up there as a famous fullback. Yeah.
Big time fullback.
Wow. Bring the position back. Just bring it back.
Number 48 was Daryl Johnston. Any more 45s you got over there?
Bob Gibson, St. Louis Cardinals.
Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Iconic. Let's see. Michael Jordan wore 45 after 23, right?
He did.
Yeah.
22 plus 3 is 5.
22 plus 3 is 5.
There's a reason he had 45, and I can't remember what it was.
It's a great question, Joe.
I don't remember.
I think 2 plus 3 is 5. I think that's what you're getting at. That 22 plus
Maybe. He was 45, though, for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob Gibson, Anthony Davis, Donovan Mitchell. Don't remember them. Most notably, Michael Jordan. Who was the Bears safety? Was it Gary Fensick that was 45, or was he 46? Because they did the.
I don't recognize that name.
Yeah, can't
Because
help
the
on that
46 defense came after Gary Fenn. I think it was yesterday. Because Buddy Ryan named the 46 defense, which was a game-changing defense, 46 after Gary Fensick. I think he was 46. He was 45. 45 for the Bears.
Okay. Nicely done.
Thank you so much with that. I get some things correct here.
Alexander Carrier, former Pred.
That's
Played great.
right.
45.
Alexander Carrier. That's pretty good friend.
So that's not bad. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no other Preds really stick out though. Carrier, but
Yeah, it's just so these numbers are. I love them because you think about. I totally forgot about Alexander Carrier. I totally forgot about him. And 45, yeah, Gary Fensick with the Bears. Doug Plank was 46. So remember old school Bob Gibson. I bet you're a big Bob Gibson fan over there.
Yeah.
Why?
Cardinal legend. You kidding me? Bob
Right.
Gibson's great. Stan the Man. I mean, you could go Andy Van Slyke, Tommy Herr, Vince Coleman. I mean, I'll list off the 82 team if you want me to.
Please.
Let's see. Tommy Herr, Ozzie Smith, Vince Coleman, Willie McGee. Let's see. I think John Tudor. Is that right?
I don't know. This is your list, buddy. No Googling.
I gotta Google it.
No
Joe.
Googling.
I named about 6-7 guys there. That's
Right.
half the lineup. Terry Pendleton, I believe. Yeah,
Terry Pendleton was on there.
Terry Pendleton.
Actually, Terry Pendleton ended up being the National League MVP for the Braves in '91.
Oh, that was after his time in St. Louis.
After his time in St. Louis.
Yeah, Cardinals always have had really good outfielders. And back then, I think Terry Pendleton played in middle infield and then played some outfield.
Was Keith Hernandez on that 82 team? No. Did he get traded
Maybe.
before that? I don't know.
I'll
It's
look.
the point of the show. We're like, who guys do all that?
Well, we just started, Joe. Let's see. Keith Hernandez, 79. Is that right?
Until I know he was a Cardinal, right?
Yeah, he was a Cardinal. He's in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Doesn't say.
He was.
74-83. Yeah,
I
he was.
was right. JoJo.
Hey,
And then he went to the Mets for 7 seasons. So, yeah, nice little career there for Keith Hernandez.
finished with Cleveland.
Well done. 45. So, our 45. So, I go Gary Fensick, and you go
Ahmad Hall.
Ahmad Hall. Bob Gibson doing that. All right. Off and running the show today, 9:30. John McClain will join us. And a lot of fun, a lot of football to get into today. Our question of the day, though, we always do the question of the day in our first segment because of summer. We want to know what your favorite summer job was, not when you're 34 years old. There's an age limit, like 23 and under. Your favorite summer job you ever had. 615-737-1025. You guys were great yesterday telling us about all these dive bars. That's why we love our text line. You can call in either one. We love talking to you guys about that. So your favorite summer job that you had, and usually some of these favorite summer jobs end up with you getting fired, which is kind of cool, but we want to hear about that right there. All right, we're in today. Dr. Crane in for Chase McCabe, who's out. This is the Chase and Big Joe Show right here, brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel on 102.5 The Game. All right, welcome back here to the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game, brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel in the Busy Bee studio. Our question of the day is your favorite summer job you had growing up. Now that we put an age limit on this, 23 and under. So, Dr. Crane, what was your favorite summer job that you had?
Yeah, I was telling you in the break, I didn't have many summer jobs because I was playing football freshman year through senior year. All my summers were consumed with football practice. But the one I can recall was probably my summer after senior year, going to be a freshman in college. Was like a camp counselor.
Okay.
And I was like I'm not senior camp counselor, but for the older kids, like 13 and 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I had to like schedule, if we were going to go to the zoo this week or go
Oh,
on rollerblading or whatever. I had to do fun things like the jump houses and all that with all the trampolines and all those little fun things. The basketball hoops on trampolines and stuff. Those were fun.
oh, nice. Ian, what was your favorite summer job, Bubba?
That's a good question. My first job was the movie theater in high school, but I don't know if that wasn't necessarily a summer thing,
That's okay, though.
because I think I worked there more than just the summer. But my college summer job was pizza place.
Oh, here in town? Where'd you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Western,
Okay.
and then I was going to Western, and then I would on the summers I'd work at a pizza place. It was a local pizza place in the factory in Franklin.
What's it called?
It's no longer open. It was called Mateo's.
Mateo's.
Mateo's Pizza. Yeah, it was in the factory. I had a buddy who was working there, and then in the summer I'd go back there, work, or
Simple times.
yeah. And then sometimes on the weekends I would actually come back and work. Sometimes if I really needed the money during college.
Did you ever eat dough just for S and gigs?
Raw dough?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
All right.
They made their own dough there though.
Maybe that's where we went. I went wrong in my life.
You ate raw dough?
I'll eat raw cookie dough.
I wish
I'll eat raw meat.
Well, raw cookie dough, yeah.
It's different.
I don't know about
story.
raw meat.
Yeah.
But you don't like the dough? I mean, I would eat the dough. I mean, I wouldn't eat like pound it, but it'd be like you take a little snippet of the dough.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. You didn't do that?
No, I did not. No.
All right, then. All right.
You ever had blue rare steak?
Have a good day. Blue Rare?
Yeah.
No.
They just sear the outsides of it. It's just raw in the middle. No, that's good.
I bet so. But I eat raw hamburger. I don't mind. I just load it up at Lowry's and eat it.
Excuse
man.
me?
The-
Raw hamburger.
yeah.
Sounds
All the
like so
time.
they do that in Wisconsin.
I do it all the time. I'm still here. Look how fit I am.
You are pretty fit. You are pretty fit.
Right. My favorite summer job, I was a valet parker at Opryland Hotel. I will say unequivocally that I was the worst employee that Opryland Hotel ever had. Valet parker. Let me tell you something, folks. When you valet park your car, they're going through everything. We went through everything in your car. They do it. Just know that's going to happen. We went through everything. And as a valet parker, it was the best. They'd pull a van one time pulled up, and give me a little Joe story time. I'll make it quick. A van pulled up one time, and a friend of mine says, "Hey, they got a full pizza in the back." That's why I'm eating the valet lot. We go to the valet lot, park the van, ate this entire pizza that they left, and one bite I hit, I took. The pizza sauce came down my valet uniform. I mean, it was massive. I mean, I was like, "Oh man," trying to get a huge stain, right? I walked back up to the portico at Opryland Hotel, and the family is standing there. The dad's sitting there. He says, I swear to God, "Hey, man, we left a pizza in the van. Can we get it?" I said, "Oh, yeah, let me run to the van and see real quick," right? So I go to the van. I'm like, "What are we going to do?" He's like, "I don't know. You're the one with the pizza stain." My buddy said, "That's okay." So I go back up. I said, "Hey, it's not there." I said, "I think I saw your son bring it in." Because I handed something to him. I think it was a pizza. He's like, "Yeah, you probably did. He's forgetting everything. So thank you, whatever." I'm like, "Man, and a guy gave me a $10 tip."
Oh.
Not only did I eat his pizza and I lied, he gave me $10.
You basically just ate a free pizza.
I got paid.
Yeah, that's what
For
I'm saying.
eating
You
the
got
pizza.
paid for eating the pizza.
Yeah. And then I never saw them again, so I avoided them. And so that was it. I mean, I was the worst. And one time I got Richard Dreyfuss a cab. He was in town for an event, and it was a very small cab. And I said, "Looks like you need a bigger cab." If you know the line from Jaws, "We're going to need a bigger boat." And he looked at me and he said, "Don't." And he's like 5'2". He just said, "Don't." And I started laughing. I mean, it's Richard Dreyfuss was ready to fight me. I was like,
Wow.
"Okay, well, whatever."
Joe picking fights with celebrities.
So yeah, it was the worst valet parker, worst employee Opryland Hotel ever had. It doesn't come close over there. Kenny said he worked at Tipton Municipal Golf Course growing up, which I guess was really kind of cool. 0178. I was the operator of the riverboat cruise in the Delta for the Ireland Hotel for a summer. Had to memorize this really big speech that gave facts and figures about the hotel. Holy cow. I thought that was automated, though. 0178. I guess not. 8586. Favorite summer job, unfortunately, is being deployed to the Middle East. Yikes. Thank you for your service there, man.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see. 1978 H15 at Just for Feet in Rivergate. Discount on Jordans and after hours basketball. 15-year-old me was living that summer. Oh man, Just for Feet in Rivergate. When you buy tennis shoes, where do you buy tennis? Do you go to the mall and buy them?
No, I buy them off like the internet. Sometimes I go to like Fleet Feet. I think that's the place.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I don't go to the mall.
I have an
anymore.
issue with shoes on the internet. I got to
Same.
try them on. I can't buy
Really?
shoes online.
Dr. Crane, I mean, you can't hide money going to Fleet Feet.
Excuse
Can't
me.
hide money.
I don't know where I shop for shoes.
Can't
Joe.
hide money.
I
That Fleet
know.
Feet's expensive.
Well, no,
Good,
I,
but
I,
expensive.
I've only walked in there once. I mean, that shows you how much I buy shoes at a store. I just buy them off the internet.
Do you have to send them back? You have a problem with them?
Well, like if I normally the strategy is a buddy of mine's dad did this. He would buy two sizes that he knows on a regular basis. If you're at 8.5, you buy the 8.5, and then if it's too big or too small, you'd only buy a second size at the same time. So if you end up one size being too big or too small,
You return
just-
the other one?
Yeah, you return the other one and you get comp for it. So
What's the dad's name?
I don't know.
Smart.
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah,
You
that's
just made
his
that up.
No,
But that's smart.
no.
Mark is smart to do that.
Yeah, Mark is a smart.
D. Smith says, I worked as a lifeguard through high school and college at Gaylord Opera Hotel after college for a couple of years. Also trained lifeguards. Enjoyed every minute. That's one job I would not want to be as a lifeguard.
No, too much responsibility.
Too much. Because now when we were growing up, lifeguards, all they did was pick up girls.
Yeah.
They don't, I mean, they were like, oh, someone's drowning. I'll go save them. I mean,
Okay.
after, they didn't, but now, I mean, they're scanning the pool left and right. I mean, God bless them.
Yeah, there was one in our neighborhood. I mean, good for her, but she was like pacing the entire pool for like almost an hour straight.
Oh,
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, when I was at that summer camp, we all had to get like CPR certified. We all had to be trained to be lifeguards. Luckily, I wasn't around the pool that much. I was in the pool because it was too hot.
Yeah.
I kind of lollygagged a little bit, but it's all right.
That's okay. Well, you're what, 15, 16, 17,
18,
18?
yeah.
No, don't do it. You're 15.
15.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Y switches them every 15 minutes. They rotate, which
Yeah.
is good. But yeah, good job, Mr. Smith, because I couldn't do that. All right, keep them coming there. 615-737-1025. Up next, Dr. Crane, who do we have?
We have John McClain, the great John McClain
Yep,
out of Houston.
John McClain. You got your questions ready?
Oh, yeah.
Ready
absolutely.
to go?
Yeah.
All right. You're listening to the
Let's do
Chase.
this thing.
You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe show right here on 102.5 The Game.
Welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe show. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier alongside Big Joe Dubin, Ian Safar. Joe, joining us now is the great John McClain, presented by Maple Street Biscuits. Wake up to wow, as Owen Wilson would say. John, how you doing this morning?
I'm guessing Chase has never heard of Wally Pipp.
No.
It's a good thing he's the boss. After listening to Nick, he may need to work hard to get that job back.
Well done, John.
Thanks, John. Oh, man. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going, Joe. Excuse me. John, I want to get into this a little bit. You mentioned, I saw online something about the Arizona Cardinals and the away team is paying, what, $2,500? Is that correct? What could that kind of escalate to across the league?
I'm surprised more teams haven't thought of that. It's an exclusive private jet taking people that pay $2,500 each. It's 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. They have all kind of things planned for them to make it exclusive. And of course, you got to have money, but there's a lot of people that got money who are fans. And I think, yes, maybe other teams have this and we just don't know about it. I've never heard of it, but I'll guarantee you others are thinking about it. And Jerry Jones is probably wondering why in the world he didn't come up with this idea first.
Do you think it'll be a flat rate if they end up adopting this across the league, or you think it'll just depend on each team?
I think if the Cardinals, as bad as they are, can get $2,500, what do you think the Eagles could get as the defending Super Bowl champion? What could the Cowboys get so people would say they went on a private jet paid for by Jerry Jones? The Cowboys have things right now where when the players walk back to the locker room, fans are right there on the other side of the glass, waving at them, talking to them. They rent out their draft room for special events. They rent out their team auditorium for special events, and they're all sold out. And so, yes, I think you charge as much as you can get.
Smart job there. All right, talking to John McClain here on the Chase Big Joe show. John, I love the history of the National Football League, and there was a death that happened a few days ago, 2 days ago. Tim Rooney, the nephew of Art Rooney, passed away, longtime scouting director, credited with finding Jack Lambert. I mean, John, you dealt with guys like this, how invaluable they were. They don't get all the accolades, but a guy like Tim Rooney passing away, I think that's a big deal because of what he did with the Steelers and finding Jack Lambert and other guys. It was a special time in the league back then.
Yeah, he had a magical name of Rooney.
Yeah, right.
But he was always behind the scenes. You didn't hear much about him at all. And when you heard about Rooney's, it was members of the Rooney family who owned the team and who ran the team. But Tim, 3 franchises, he was always behind the scenes, and he was very well respected. And I think I read where he might have earned 6 Super Bowl rings, considering he was with the Steelers and the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, just an iconic figure there in the scouting world. John, I'm sure you read the Kirk Cousins comments about he felt misled by the Atlanta Falcons after they drafted a quarterback. Is it me? It's really hard to feel sorry for a guy who's made over $100 million and also, John, at the same time, won only 1 playoff game in his career.
The odds are Michael Penix is not going to play 17 games. He's been hurt throughout his career, and I think that he'll be the best backup quarterback in the league, certainly the highest paid. I think they didn't lie to him. They gave him too much money to know beyond a shadow of a doubt they were going to take Penix. But on the other hand, he signed in March. The draft was late April. So they had to really like Penix at that point. But nobody's going to feel sorry for Kirk Cousins. And he acted like he would have stayed in Minnesota if indeed he had known they were going to use the first pick on a quarterback. But, hey, he can cry all the way to the bank.
Right.
John McClain's with us here on the Chase and McJoe show. John, Cam Ward being the first overall pick for the Titans this past offseason in the draft, coming into this upcoming season with the dead period they've had, a lot of noise around Calvin Ridley minus Calvin Ridley. I mean, do you think Cam Ward can succeed under this Titans offense? I mean, minus Calvin Ridley and other players on this roster?
Well, what they need is they need to have a really good defense, and then they need to have a really good running game, and they need to develop receivers. And Ridley's going to get a lot of double coverage, which is not good, but that would free up the other guys. And so I think it's a great opportunity for a free agent receiver like Lockett or a draft choice receiver to step in there. I can't think of a team right now that has given wide receivers a better opportunity than the Titans are going to give them in Callahan's second season. And you'd like the Ward to have veteran receivers who have been consistently productive, but they obviously like their guys that would have made more of an effort to bring in more receivers.
Could you see the Titans, if they end up getting into a situation where they're possibly looking at a wild card spot, add some guys via trade or before the trade deadline?
Boy, that's the first time I've heard anybody mention Titans and playoffs in the same sentence. And I think that if they get in the wild card, if they're in position to get a wild card berth, then that means those guys they've got have done a hell of a job. And barring injury, there wouldn't be any need to try to bring in other players because Brad Callahan would be leading candidate to be coach of the year in the NFL if that team goes from worst to a wild card berth.
John, we sit here on July 9th. You look at the AFC South with the Titans, Colts, Jags, and Texans. I mean, the Texans are the unanimous favorite, right?
Absolutely. They ought to run away with a bad division again, which they've done they didn't run away with it 2 years ago. Remember, this is one of the things I always liked about Vrabel. Any team Vrabel coached had a chance of winning a game. That last game 2 years ago, all Jacksonville had to do was beat the Titans, who weren't going anywhere, in what turned out to be Vrabel's last game to win the AFC South. Texans would have been a wild card. So what happens? The Titans beat them, knocked them out of the playoff, knocked them down into I can't remember, they were a wild card, and Texans won the division.
Right.
And got to play at home. And so it was, I think that was one of the most impressive things. If you can have a coach who could do that. We don't know right now really what Callahan's capable of doing because he didn't have a good team and a lot of talent in his first season as head coach. Now he's got the most exciting rookie quarterback in the NFL. They've worked on the roster. I know people are fired up about it. But right now, to me, it's a battle for who's going to finish second, and it's wide open.
John, the reason why I asked you about the trade deadline with the Titans is just because I kind of see in my eyes that the Titans have that same trajectory as Houston did when they were in year one with C.J. Stroud. Do you kind of see that same similarity with the possibly action-packed quarterback coming into a team that doesn't have many assets but yet could still produce?
One of the things that happened with Stroud 2 years ago, they had wide receivers step up. Nico Collins had been hurt a lot of his first 2 years. I think he played 14 games and emerged as one of the best receivers in the league. That's what the Titans need to have somebody step up and do like that. And Nico Ryans, as a former defensive coach, did a great job coaching the defense in its first year. They had been terrible for 3 years in a row, caught everybody off guard. But it wasn't just Stroud. A lot of players stepped up. They took advantage of the last place schedule. And that's what the Titans have to do because they're not playing a first place schedule now. And you have to take advantage of it when you have it. Key is, are they capable of doing it?
We'll have more with John McClain on the other side here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Back here on the Chase and Big Joe show, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier alongside Big Joe Dubin, Ian Safar, John McClain and Houston here joining us here on the show. John, kind of want to start off here with the L'Jarius Sneed update. You know, in my opinion, I don't think Titans are going to see much out of him this season. What do you think about the whole situation?
Well, I think if they don't see much out of him this season, he'll go down as one of the franchise's all-time busts, considering the high hopes they had for him and how well he played till the season before he got there. Hopefully he can contribute in some way because, you know, they were counting on him when they brought him in last season.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point we talked about before the break, if the Titans want to kind of replicate something that Houston did a couple seasons ago with C.J. Stroud, having a solid defense, it just, without L'Jarius Sneed, I just don't see where the defensive production comes from.
Well, it better come from up front because if you don't have guys that can rush the passer, if Deion Sanders can't cover receivers forever, and that was in his prime. So it looks to me like if they stay healthy, especially the interior, they can be really good. And if you get that pressure, it creates havoc, and it helps the DBs, and they're going to need help for the DBs. And if I'm Titans fans, I'm feeling pretty good about that defensive line, especially inside.
Oh, absolutely. John, we were talking, Nick and I, before the show about Titans players in the top 10 and certain things. The list came out, Jeremy Fowler. The executives got Jeffrey Simmons, number 4 in the top 10 list. When you think about this franchise, and exclude Cam Ward from this for a second, who stands out to you? I know Simmons does, John, but you're watching this from the 5,000-foot view of this organization. And that's the problem I think the Titans have. They don't have these players who really stand out across the league except for a Jeffrey Simmons. Who stands out to you when you think about the Titans?
Now, you're talking about the current team?
Yes.
Well, truthfully, Simmons and Sweat, thought Sweat played really well as a rookie. Most players show their biggest improvement in the second season. Nobody needed to learn what it's like to be a pro more than he did, to get discipline in his diet and his workouts. I expect him to dominate. And so I'm not as familiar with each player as you guys are. So I don't know because I don't watch them on a daily basis. But right now, they don't have a lot of stars. They might have one with a second in the making, and maybe Cam Ward. And somebody's going to emerge. If somebody doesn't emerge, then they're going to get another high draft choice, and then they'll draft another star.
You know, John, they had the joint practices with the Buccaneers and with the Falcons. You've covered this a long time. How important is that for a Cam Ward? Because, you know, he's not going to play a lot in the exhibition games, and they're not going to bring a lot. But you've seen those 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, John, in those joint practices where they bring the farm at the quarterback and everything. How vital are those practices, joint practices for Cam Ward?
Well, they do that, Joe, but, you know, they don't hit them. And it's never going to be the same if you're not under the pressure of getting hit. Now, they'll see if he makes the right reads. The mental part is so important. Coaches love joint practices because they can orchestrate them. They can have that time down to a T. They can tell another coach what they'd like to see happen. If you don't mind, blitz them a little up the middle. You know, try to confuse it. And they want to see where he is because it's always different because the intensity level is turned up with the players. It's turned up with the fans. I think you get your best from your team in camp when fans are there, and then it's double when you get another team and the fans.
What, you know, speaking of C.J. Stroud back in 23, when did you know, John, that Texans had something special in C.J. Stroud? Because that's what we're all looking for here in Nashville with Cam Ward. Like, all right, when are we going to know? When did you know about C.J. Stroud, John?
When Davis Mills was the starter, D'Amico Ryans didn't just put Stroud number one. Throughout the off-season program, he had Mills with the first team. He had Stroud with the second team. We constantly asked D'Amico Ryans about Stroud being the starter. He would never admit it. We knew it. We all said it. But he wanted to make sure Stroud showed all the players that he was capable of being the starter ahead of the incumbent, because people really respected Mills a lot, what he'd been through with losing teams and how tough he'd proven to be. And it wasn't until about 10 days before the season they elevated him. And I don't pay attention to what players do in camp and preseason because everything is vanilla. And I'm guessing is maybe the second or third game that I thought this kid could be special, because hanging over his head was that test he took that said he wasn't good at recognizing things, and turned out he was great at it. And so I would say second or third game, and then when they started to win, I was shocked.
John McClain's here with us on the Jason McJoe Show. John, kind of shifting gears from the NFL to college football. July 1st hit, and already the NIL revenue sharing is underway, with the 22% being distributed through ticket sales and so forth. How do you see all this playing out with the Power 4 schools in comparison to those G5 schools?
Well, one thing that's interesting, and I think a lot of people don't understand, you can still have collectives paying an offensive tackle $5.1 million like Texas Tech has done, thanks to a wealthy oil man, Cody Campbell. But when they do it, they have to do things. If you're signing them to make appearances and do endorsements, doing commercials, they got to do it. You can't just give it to them to show up, which is outside that budget. And I'm waiting to see if we have lawsuits, if we have Title IX lawsuits, and because there's always attorneys. Attorneys always are going to get involved, because football players are going to get most of it. It doesn't matter how good you are at baseball, even if you're a college team that, like the University of Tennessee or Vanderbilt, that's great. They're not bringing in revenue like football, so football's got to win. And there's going to be sports and players who feel like they're being shortchanged. There's going to be a lot of jealousy, and it's going to continue to be chaotic.
Yeah, John, just reading up more about it, I believe that people are saying online 75% of the power conference programs are expected for this revenue sharing to go to football. And just, I look at this as because you're bringing in general managers now in college football. I guess the money that is, brought in through ticket sales and, all that, TV partnerships, so forth, I feel like you should use that money for, recruiting purposes to get players in, and then kind of feeder that into the system and have your guys, like you're talking about with Texas Tech, already pay those guys through NIL Collective. I think that's the route it, in my opinion, is starting to trend towards.
Well, another thing, a player like, say, Arch Manning can make endorsements off the field like Caitlin Clark. Companies come to him. I think I saw where he made $6 million. What was the number for Cooper Flagg? $28 million last year, did I see? And
Something,
almost
yeah.
all of it was money not given to him by anybody associated with Duke. You would see him doing national commercials. So players can still do that. And, Arch Manning could clean up. Think how many companies would want him, therefore the Manning family, representing them. It's just him, how much time he wanted to devote to that. And that would be irrespective of what Texas Tech did.
Yeah, John, somebody put out a comparison about Brock Purdy, what he's made in the first 4 years in the league. Of course, he got a big deal now, to what Arch Manning could make if he stays all 4 years at Texas. It's basically that if Arch Manning stays at Texas, he'll make probably what he would take him 5 to 6 years make in the National Football League. So with that being said, John, I'm starting to see guys who are going to stay in college football a little bit longer because that money is there that they're not going to make in the National Football League. And I think that's a good thing for college football in a small way.
We're always saying it, Joe. I wish we'd see more of it in basketball. I hate one and dones. I'd love to see these great basketball players spend at least 2 seasons in college. Like, I don't think Cooper Flagg's making $28 million this year, but
right.
It puts him closer to the $250 million max contract like Chet Holmgren agreed to. Chet Holmgren missed a full season, missed 30% of last season, and just got $250 million deal over 4 years. So that's the only drawback of staying. Injury, of course, but you are not as close to getting the big money that you're going to get. I think Arns will stay probably 3 years. I'm sorry, he'll stay 2 more years, and then he'll come with another year of eligibility. And because those guys that are great know they're going to be good, or at least have a chance to play pro football or basketball, they're not going to spend their whole time in college because they know there's a golden nugget out there that they can grab onto, and at some point it's going to be 350 million that they're going to be getting, like they do those max contracts in the NBA.
John, appreciate the time as always. We will chat with you next week, and tell the Astros to win a game tonight against the Guardians so they don't get swept.
And I'm glad, Nick, you didn't get me started on the Astros. Thank you guys very much. Great talking to you as always.
Thank you, John. John McClain, presented by Maple Street Biscuits. Wake up to wow. Joe, how did you wake up to wow?
I did wake up to wow every day.
Yeah.
And that's all we'll talk
We
about.
got a lot of wow conversation going on in hour 2. I'll
Ian
say
knows.
that.
Yeah, wake up to wow. Yeah, we do.
Hey,
Fun. Yeah, fun. Coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we got a lot of fun for you coming up, a lot of football to get into, including, let's kind of go what we talked with John about. The Titans, a top 10 player in any position. I don't think they have a top 15 player in any position besides one Jeffrey Simmons. We'll discuss this.
There might be one position.
I don't think so, pal. Long snapper, maybe. All right, we'll take a break, come back. Fun second hour ahead right here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel on 102.5 The Game. All right, welcome into the second hour, the 10 o'clock hour of the Chase and Big Joe show. I got like 19 things I'm doing at one time besides staring at David Janes, our award-winning producer back there. Well, welcome to the show. Chase McCabe on vacation. Dr. Crane sitting in for him. David Janes run the boards. Fun talking to John McClain, right?
Yeah, always fun talking.
I could talk to that guy all day about things. All right. Our topic now, we want to hear from you guys. 615-737-1025. Our question of the day is your favorite summer job. We'll get to some of those responses. They're great throughout the show today. And also, the thing about, what's the guy's name? Jeremy Fowler. His top 10 list that you just throw a name out there that nobody puts any thought behind about Jeffrey Simmons' top 10 defensive tackle, which leads to a larger question. Do the Titans have any players in the top 10? I don't know if they have any top 15, and we will start. And then you think they might have a player in the top 10?
Maybe in one position.
What is it?
Maybe quarterback. Maybe I'm just gonna
You're
go.
absolutely insane.
Well, I'm just
He's
saying.
never taken a snap in the National Football League.
I'm okay with that. I'm giving him the Arch Manning treatment.
You think Cam Ward's a top 15 quarterback?
Yeah,
I think you need to have your head examined.
I think we could easily go down this list and just list off quarterbacks, and there's probably about 14 better than him, but maybe he sneaks in at 15.
Do you think Cam Ward's a top 15 quarterback?
Yeah, maybe he sneaks in at 15.
David Janes, is there any kind of way that not only can we cut his mic off, but give him electric shock throughout the show?
I wish I
mean,
had that button over here. I
Again,
don't.
I said maybe.
Yeah, but again, you're saying maybe, but it's just like it's what we do in media. It's just like we're hyping up Cam Ward a little too much for that. It's like
right.
top 15.
Well, explain this. What else is there to hype up besides Cam Ward?
No, that's fair, but
That's
like
the question.
But to say top
That's what
15
I'm saying. I
is
think
crazy.
I think he's one of the positions on the Titans roster minus Jeffrey Simmons that might be top 10 or top 15.
He's never played a down in the National Football League.
Look,
He's throwing against air.
hey, at wide receiver, there are a lot more wide receivers than that.
We're going to go back to your Cam Ward.
Go
thing.
ahead. I'm all about it
Why do you think he's a top 15?
because that's the only position the Titans have promise at. Seriously.
I was not
I mean,
prepared for
could be
this.
top 15 is one thing, but like
Yeah.
is top 15 is another. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, all I can say is can be.
No, right now. I don't want to could or can be or maybe right now.
Well, I mean, that's tough. It's a tough call, Cotton. Maybe a kicker.
I'm asking you.
Well,
You ask me.
Well, I when you mentioned it that way, I thought you meant like could, and I was like, well, yeah, top
Does.
15. No,
Does,
if we're
dude,
talking
does,
is
dude,
now,
yeah.
it is now. We're probably talking kicker. Sorry.
Are you trying to get a job with Cam Ward or something?
No, I just misinterpreted your question. Excuse me.
Oh man.
Sorry.
He's not. He's like number 30.
Well,
He's never won a game. He's never played it down.
listen,
God, this insanity from some of you Titans fans is next level something.
I'm all about giving the kid a chance at possibly saying he's a top 15 quarterback. I'm all about saying that. It's a potential thing. It's a potential thing. It's not a is now thing. It's a potential thing. But as for your is now question for who is in top 15 ranking of whatever position,
We're going position by position here.
kicker, by far, kicker. That's the only thing the Titans have going for them.
I don't think they have a kicker on the squad, do they?
And it Hecker, that's the punter.
Joey Sly?
Yeah. Oh, he's from Carolina. Yeah, he's worth it.
I don't think he's and Hecker's the punter, right?
Yeah, Hecker.
That's a Hecker punt there. No, we're not. No,
He's got the biceps the size of
we
your
don't
head.
talk punters or kickers. We don't. We love Brett Kern, but that's about it.
I bet Brett would back me on this.
Okay. All right.
I bet he would.
All right. I think Tony Pollard's a top 10 running back.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
There's so many more.
He ran for 1,000 yards behind that god awful line.
Devon A-Chain, Brees Hall. Brees Hall's on a terrible Jets team. You look at.
I'll take Tony Pollard over him.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you.
Josh Jacobs.
No, this is coming from the guy who said Cam Ward's a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah.
I think Tony Pollard's better than Josh Jacobs.
Wow. That is awful. That is absolutely awful.
Totally better than Josh Jacobs.
No, Josh Jacobs is way better than Tony
I
Pollard.
totally disagree.
I mean, Tony Pollard has no upside at this point. Buddy busted his Achilles. I mean, come on. He's still a very producing running back, but like you're not going to get him in a top 15 talent.
Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
He blew his Achilles out?
Yeah.
Did I miss this?
Wasn't it with the Cowboys?
That was his ACL.
ACL, excuse me.
Bro, he ran for 1,000 yards to the Titans last year, right? I think he ran for 1,000. Didn't
So, but
I
it's
believe
still
so.
it's still a, as Nick Holt says, interchangeable backfield with Tajay Spears.
he?
and
Tajay
Teddy
Spears sucks.
Yeah, and I think
Pollard's pretty damn good.
pretty solid, but he's solid running back. There's a lot better running back production than Tony Pollard. James Cook, Joe Mixon,
I'll take Pollard. I like Pollard.
really,
Yeah, I think Pollard's really good.
it's a bad look.
I think he's really no. I think he ran. Did you not see the offensive line? How bad they were and what he did. Guy ran his ass off last year.
I mean, I'm
You're willing to put Cam Ward in top 15, but not Tony Pollard.
yeah, I
My
am.
Goodness.
I am willing to do that.
All right, is Calvin Ridley a top 15 receiver?
It's tough. I'm gonna go with no.
I'm no with you on that too.
I'm
As
going
well.
with no. I mean, there's so many better. Well, can't even speak. Wide receivers. I mean,
Yeah,
think
there
about
are.
it.
He sucks. He's not
Stephon
up there.
Diggs, Jamar Chase.
You know Justin Jefferson. We know
Jettis-
all of them.
yeah, I
he's
mean,
not a top 15
no.
receiver. Tyler Lockett's not a top 15 receiver.
Really good slot receiver.
Traylon Burks. They got Traylon Burks on the
But
3.
think
number
about
one.
it though.
No.
We're really trying to deep dive here and say and justify that the Titans have good players on their team.
I'm talking top 15.
Yeah,
at a
that's
position.
that's justifying that they have good players on their team.
Not justifying anything. I'm saying they have a top 15 player and
Yeah.
they don't have one at receiver. Tight end, Chig. Absolutely not.
Don't even mention the name.
No, he's not. He's not even probably a top 30 tight end. It's just not. It's just not good. Offensive line, Dan Moore Jr.
See, I'm nervous about this guy coming in this season. From what people have said online, and
Worst free
seals-
agent signing in football.
Yeah,
That's what they said.
Yeah.
So he's not. Peter Skoronski,
there's upside to there. There's upside.
15.
I put him as a guard. Yeah,
I think he's getting really good at
Yeah.
a guard.
yeah. Why not?
He's on the precipice of a top 15 guard.
You're ready to you're ready to go top 15 for that.
Skoronski, he played really well down the stretch. He
Okay.
really played good down the stretch.
Okay.
I think he's going to be good. I still think he's a first round pick they got, but I think he's going to be good. Cushenberry, he's hurt. So
We'll see what happens with that.
Kevin Zeitler,
I think that's a role piece, a solid, I guess, pillar when it comes to making a transition into a window for the Titans. But no, not a top 15.
no, you can't have two. Skoronski. Or
I'd say
Zeitler.
maybe top 25.
We're not asking that.
I'm just
JC Latham at right tackle, top 15.
we're gonna have to wait on that one.
Not, but I'm right now.
Maybe by week 9.
Maybe, but I'm asking, has we enter camp?
No.
Not at all.
No.
All right, let's go to defensive line, top 15. Sebastian, this is Titans number 1 according to their depth chart. Sebastian Joseph Day, defensive end, top 15. No. Tavondre Sweat, top 15. No. Jeffrey Simmons, top 15.
Yes.
Draymond Jones,
Who?
outside linebacker.
No.
Nope. Cody Barton, left inside linebacker. Nope. Otis Reese IV, who sounds like a really good blues musician. No. Arden Key, absolutely not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Left quarterback, L'Jarius Sneed. No. Strong safety. And this might make the top 15. Amani Hooker.
Yes.
I think he comes in probably at 15.
That's probably on right at 15 is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'll agree.
I got the list of the jerseys, the top, like number 37. He's like the number 137 in the league.
It's fair.
All right. Xavier Woods.
No.
Jarvis Brownlee Jr.
No.
Not 15, but a lot of potential for him. Roger McCreary. No. This is the state of the Tennessee Titans right now.
Those two cornerbacks you listed off to me would probably be in the 20s range, mid 20s, late 20s. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, that's kind of the only upside on that point.
I mean,
as for L'Jarius Sneed, people that disagree with saying he's a top 15 cornerback, I mean, I'm in the camp that he's not because he's not going to be a top 15 cornerback.
Is he even going to play?
That's the thing. I mean, by default, I say no.
I don't think so. Yeah. So the guy I'm listening to questionable, but the starting left cornerback that goes on right there. And of course, nickelback Roger McCreary. That's the problem, is that they don't have any guys. I mean, so you look at this team like, all right, 4-13, 3-14 again. I mean, it looks bad. Still don't have it.
Maybe an extra game in there. Maybe they win an extra game.
I'm still kind of flummoxed on your Cam Ward top 15 quarterback.
I honestly think you could see a lot of really good production. Kind of what you said with J.C. Latham. Maybe he might be good. That's kind of how I feel about Cam Ward.
Are you drunk off Jaden Daniels?
A little bit.
You drunk off CJ Stroud?
A little bit.
Little bit.
That's kind of what I see. I'm seeing those trajectories with these younger quarterbacks, and especially a guy like Cam Ward that resembles a little bit like a CJ Stroud and Jaden Daniels, the way they're able to kind of, flush the pocket a little bit, along with throw the ball. And nonetheless, Cam Ward has an arm. We all know that.
As I tell Chase all the time, all the Titans have to do is be better than three other teams.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. You can go 7-10. As long as you beat the other three teams and they lose some games down the stretch, you could make the playoffs.
If you're better than Jacksonville, that gives you hope as a Titans fan.
That's about Jacksonville I like. I don't know what it is.
Really?
I don't know what it is.
Is it the quarterback?
Oh, maybe it's a whole new umph in that organization.
Travis
down there.
Hunter?
Could be.
Is it the
Travis Etienne?
Duval? You like that?
Could be a good quarterback.
Maybe.
I mean, good coach. I don't know.
Trevor Lawrence, Sunshine.
Could be. Right? Won't you like Trevor? What Trevor Lawrence do to you?
I didn't say
Trevor Lawrence, a top 15 quarterback in the National Football League?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
Probably.
Duval.
Yeah, he's probably 28.
28. Who's a better quarterback, Cam Ward or Trevor Lawrence?
Cam Ward.
I think you're crazy.
You want to do this experiment? We can.
Yeah.
I think it would.
I don't do your nerd stats. I don't do the
it's
nerd
fine.
stats.
No, we're good.
But I think Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback right now than Cam Ward.
Absolutely not.
Right now, man, what are you? Do you smoke before you come to work?
No, I don't do drugs. Drugs
know
are
that.
bad. Drugs are bad.
But I think
for
you might have done it today.
Nope. Drugs are bad. Ladies and gentlemen, do not do drugs.
We know that.
Just gotta stay
But you think
safe.
Cam Ward's better than Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I really do.
I mean, you're entitled to your, even though it's
Thank you.
wrong, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, some people may think I'm a fool. I think I'm a smart guy.
You think David James think you're a fool?
I hope not.
No, I think Nick's a smart guy, except for this situation right now.
That's fine.
David James, what do you think? Trevor Lawrence better quarterback than Cam
Trevor
Ward?
Lawrence is better than Cam Ward right now. Right now, yes.
Yeah, right now. Are you trying to be honest? Are you trying to get a job with Cam Ward?
No, absolutely not.
Are you trying to invite him to your birthday party?
No.
It sounds like
I don't do the birthday party thing anymore.
it sounds like you are.
No, I still
Cam, if you're listening, Dr. Crane would like to invite you to his house for pizza.
no. We don't do the pin the tail on the dog.
Are you doing pizza tomorrow?
I am.
Where are you doing pizza?
Over at Creve Hall Farmers Market. 451 Hogan Road.
What time is
the
the farmer's market?
4 to 7. 4 to 7. So Nico's Pizza and Subs will be back in business for tomorrow.
I like it over there.
It's really nice. You got peach trucks, donut shops. All
I
the
don't care
above.
about anything else but what you're doing.
You're right.
I just care about you.
We
Thank
only
you.
care about Nico.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Thank
only
you.
care about you.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, when you're making these pizzas, do you do small talk people like hot enough for you?
No, yeah. I ask them, what do you like in your toppings? Where are you from? Kind of, butter them up a little bit. Make sure the tip jar fills up a little bit.
Do you have a QR code?
Yeah.
So here's your little advice for your tip jar.
Sure.
Put like 8 $1 bills in there. So people like, oh,
Have the initiative to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
I got you covered. All right, there we go. We're going to have Dr. Crane's head examined during the break. David James will have his machine out to make sure he's all here today. Coming up next, I think this is fun. The most famous alumni from every SEC school, the most famous alumni, and one school makes me laugh who they're considered the most famous alumni. We'll tell you who it is. Go, turn your microphone back on.
Sorry. It's a bad habit.
Are you excited for this segment?
I am. I'm very excited.
Good. I'm glad you're laughing. All right. We'll come back. David James in the house. This is the Chase and Big Joe show. Also, we'll tell you about an event happening tonight at the Omni National Hotel. If this bar could talk, 5 o'clock, singer-songwriter night, the Omni National Hotel at Barlines. We'll be down there tomorrow. I'm telling you, this is an event you need to go see. It's free in Barlines tonight. Some of the best singer-songwriters in Nashville for you tonight, starting at 5 o'clock. A lot of fun. Always fun at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Back with more right here on 102.5 The Game. David James, you know, to get me right in the heart. The best television show of all time, Miami Vice. I will die on that hill arguing about that show. Welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe Show, brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel in the Busy Bee Studios. Chase McCabe on assignment. Dr. Crane and the wonderful, beautiful, handsome, talented, award-winning producer, David James, behind the glass. David, what award did you win?
Best smile.
Love it. I mean, love it. Dr. Crane, you ever won a Best Smile Award?
Not like that.
All right. I'm telling you, man.
He's got some good smiles.
Do we have our friend? Now, we'll get to the most famous alumni for every SEC school after this. Let's bring in our good friend Clay, who hopefully is not in a damn car wash calling us again. Clay, good morning.
Boys, I apologize for yesterday. I was not prepared to talk on the radio, but I am prepared today, Big Joe. Trust me.
Thank you, Clay. It upset me yesterday. Goodness gracious. You should show a little bit of some common decency, man.
Let me join in on this argument about Big Joe. We agree. I love me some Tony Pollard because you know he's a former Cowboy, and this is how prepared I am. He did go over 1,000 yards last year. Did he not, with a trash offensive line? Is that
Yes,
correct?
he did, pal.
Okay. 17-game schedule. I did the math. He's got to, in the NFL, to get 1,000 yards even if you don't make the playoffs, 17 games, you've only got to average 58 yards a game. That's not that many yards. But behind that offensive line, I mean, let's be real. The offensive line for the Tennessee Titans is trash.
I agree, and also agree.
I'm with you on the Tony. I'm with you on the Tony Pollard thing, and Dr. Crane. As far as this Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward thing, I don't know. I've got to side with Joe on that too because
all day
Trevor Lawrence has played in the NFL. Cam Ward has not.
You know, one thing that kind of bugs me a little bit. Yesterday, you kind of razzed me a little bit about the sack thing with Jeffrey Simmons.
Right.
1,000. Now we're going to justify being a really good running back with 1,000 yards of Tony Pollard.
Hey, it's not his fault they went to 17 games. And I do think an asterisk needs to be added for 17 games because he had an extra game to get more. And I agree with you on that. So do we move the average up to 1,200 now? I think so.
Yeah. I think you got to move the average up a little bit.
So 1,200 yards. Okay.
I mean,
what about you, say, Clay?
Oh, you mean as far as raising to 1,200 with 17 games?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, then you got to average what? Probably a little over between 70 and 75 yards. That's a little bit different. But Big Joe, are we going to talk about famous alumni? Who's the most famous alumni from Vanderbilt?
Yeah. Who is it?
You know, I thought about that when I was on hold. If you go about somebody that's done what he's done in his sport and won championships, I would say Will Perdue. If you go back to the dark ages, maybe Bill Wade. Me personally, and what he did for men's basketball, he's the all-time leading scorer. He's done great things in this community.
Right.
Mr. Shane Foster.
I get it.
So,
how about non-athlete most famous alumni? Non-athlete, who's the most famous Vanderbilt alumni?
Skip Bayless. I don't know.
What about Al Gore?
Okay. I didn't think about that. Okay.
All right.
We're going non-athletic here, right?
Yep. Non-athletic, most famous alumni.
Yeah, Al Gore's probably a good one.
Anybody else? And there's some famous model that went to Vanderbilt. It's not Heidi Klum, but it's oh my.
You're kind of stumping me here, Big Joe. Kind of like when I couldn't name 5 Tennessee Titans.
Can you name 5 Tennessee Titans?
I can name 5 now.
Okay.
You want me to go 1 through 5?
Sure.
Tony Pollard, Will Levis, Cam Ward, Jeffrey Simmons.
4.
And now I've done forgotten somebody I lost said the last time.
Oh my.
Keith Bullock.
Keith Okay.
There's your 5.
Oh, I meant like currently is what I was saying, because Big Joe was
Yeah, currently.
challenged me one day saying I could not name 5 current Titans, and the first time I literally I could not name 5 Titans, and I said the reason why I couldn't was because they suck.
We'll let it slide.
So,
Our great producer, David Jane, Molly Sims, the wonderful supermodel, is a Vanderbilt graduate.
Molly Sims, that you got a new one on me there, Big Joe.
Google it and see how beautiful she is. She is a famous alumni. There you go, Bubba.
Well, you know the deal with me and pretty women, Big Joe. You know, you tell me back off.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because I told Tracy Cornett, I gave her your picture. I said, if he comes to pick you up an Uber, don't. Did you see her son signed a 4-year, $40 million contract?
Absolutely, and I'm I got to know Luke pretty much his last couple of years because I still was attending games. He's a good guy.
Yes, he is.
And he's also a giant. I'm 6'1", and I come up maybe to about the middle of his chest.
Yep.
That guy is a giant. He's a great guy, and I'm happy for him.
Absolutely. So good for Luke Cornett. All right, Clay, thank you, man.
Donuts on Friday, boys.
Yeah, you said that 4 Fridays ago, so
See you, boys.
2 dozen, and don't be here Friday. All right, we will continue this because our segment was hijacked by Clay. I'll give you a teaser. Most famous Missouri alumni, famous
Ooh.
actor.
Oh,
He was in a movie called F1. You know what it is?
I have an idea.
You can tell me.
Is it Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt is a Missouri alumnus, according to this list.
He's not originally from Missouri, is he?
Springfield, Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, pal.
How about Brad
Yeah,
Pitt?
he probably thinks that Cam Ward's not as good as Trevor Lawrence.
I think he thinks the opposite.
We'll find out. All right, take a break. Come back with more on the famous alumni list. We literally have no idea what we're doing, but we got David Janes in running the show, so we're good right there. We'll come back. Chase and the Big Joe Show right here, brought to the Omni National Hotel, 102.5 The Game. Oh yeah. Dr. Crane News sings this song.
I don't.
It's a TV show called Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
One of your favorites?
Al Jarreau sings this song.
Chris
He's no-
Sanders' favorite.
No longer with us. All right, we're talking about most famous non-athlete alumni at SEC schools. So Brad Pitt at Missouri.
Mhm.
Auburn has 2 on the list. One is the guy who runs Apple right now. Do you know that? Tim Cook
Really?
is an Auburn graduate.
Tim Cook.
The other one did not graduate from Auburn, but they gave him an honorary degree, and it's where he learned how to play guitar. And it's the guy I listen to all the time,
Jimmy Buffett?
Jimmy Buffett.
Wow.
Texas on this list has Matthew McConaughey, but we just got a texter who told us that.
What?
Who did we just look up?
Oh, Greg Abbott. Yeah,
The Texas governor went to
Yeah.
Vanderbilt Law School.
he did.
Things you learn on this. Double check this for me. It
Sure.
says Alabama's most famous alumnus who never played sports, Bernie Madoff. Is that accurate? Did Bernie Madoff go to Alabama? The Ponzi scheme guy?
Let's see. Did not graduate from Alabama.
That's okay.
But he attended his 1 year, freshman year.
1 year.
Transferred from Hofstra University.
And he went to Bama?
Yeah, he joined the fraternity Sigma Alpha Mu fraternity.
What do you
Mu?
look at me for?
I don't know. I don't know
I think
Greek.
it's, Phi Mu.
Phi Mu, whatever. Yeah. That's what it says.
Where did he go after that?
It said he ultimately graduated from Hofstra with a degree in political science.
So he went from Hofstra to Alabama, back to Hofstra?
Yeah. That's what it seems.
Oh, wow. How old? He passed away, right? Or is he still in jail where he should be?
He is dead. April 14th, 21.
Okay.
Died at the age of 82.
South Carolina. We told you this. The most, according to this list, our good friends at Six Pack Coverage, the most famous South Carolina alumni is, don't call him Hootie. Darius Rucker.
Oh, Hootie and the Blowfish. Got it. Yeah. Sorry, Joe. It's like
He doesn't like that being called
he
that.
seems like a good guy, Darius Rucker.
I guess. I don't know him.
Yeah. You
But
sure?
but now I want to call him Hootie just to see what his reaction would be.
I had a guy in high school who used to call him Hootie.
Okay. How does that involve this
I mean,
story?
his name was Houston. He called him Hootie.
Houston Catchins? You
No.
called to yesterday?
No, his name, Houston Crouch. Yeah.
Who's the guy you called to yesterday?
Houston Chapman.
Houston Chapman.
Yeah.
I like that name. It's like a detective who goes by the book.
Yeah.
Like a guy that's like,
Stick to the point.
yep, read your Miranda rights, everything else.
Yeah.
Instead of like, damn it, Detective Dubin. Tennessee on this list, most famous non-sports alumni.
Ooh.
He has a show on this Cromwell media station.
Does he really? Let me think this through. Not Booker T. Let's see here.
Booker T. Yeah.
Let's see. Many of the shows, I'm drawing a blank. Why
You're not
would-
drawing anything.
I'm not
There's nothing in your hand.
twiddling my fingers. Went to the University of Tennessee.
Yep, he's a graduate.
He's got a show here on our
Show on
stations?
Cromwell Media platform.
Oh, so it could be like 93.3, 102.9.
You're like my daughter. You listen to like half of what I say.
I just short attention span, man.
He's got a show on the Cromwell Media platform,
I don't
not on 93.3. Who has shows on this who has show on 94.9? Who
Dan
should we-
Patrick.
Nope.
Oh no, that's 8:30. Excuse me.
It's all right.
We
What
have-
show do we play sometimes at night?
Paul Feinbaum.
Paul Feinbaum,
Oh my goodness.
famous Tennessee graduate.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Would you go with that one? Is there any more Tennessee people you come up with?
None that I can recall. I mean, there's that wrestler Bianca Belair, but she was a track star, so I didn't.
How
count.
about David Keith? I ain't marrying no Okie from Muskogee, from
Would you
Officer
consider?
and Gentleman.
Would you consider him, more popular than Paul Feinbaum?
For some of us, yes. It's David Keith, man.
Yeah, I
He was in
guess.
Firestarter.
Yeah.
He was in Lords of Discipline, and he was in Officer and Gentleman. In fact, he got in trouble. One of the reasons he used to have a sideline pass at Tennessee,
Mhm.
and he was one of those that they issued. You can't have a sideline passer unless you're like with the football team. So you got to stay outside the 25-yard line. He was one on that list. Like Why are you at the 45-yard line?
'Cause-
Why are you basically standing behind Johnny Majors? We ain't doing this. And so
Right.
David Keith, yeah,
Okay.
is and the last
So,
one,
honorable mention.
yep. So and then Texas has Neil deGrasse Tyson. Is that how you say his name?
No clue who that is.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
DeGrasse.
DeGrasse.
DeGrasse. You know who that guy is?
No.
The scientist guy.
You know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is.
If I saw a picture, I probably
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
know.
You
Let's see.
when you see his face, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know that guy is.
Neil
Very
deGrasse
famous scientist.
Oh yeah. I'm not good with the names. I'm good with faces. though. Sorry.
Good with facial recognition of
Yeah.
people. Who that's pretty much on this list I got here.
Trust me, there are some family members I don't know their names.
What about Kentucky? Famous alumni. Liz and Franklin. Don't call her man. She'll smack you. Don't open the door for you. She'll smack you. Ashley Judd.
Really?
Yep.
Went to Kentucky?
She goes to all the Kentucky games. Sits in the we used to, and then
The more you know.
would be seen on TV 1,000 times.
I had a feeling this was going to happen.
What do you mean?
Just my knowledge for these famous celebrities.
You're so young.
well, yeah, so young, dull brained.
Let's see. Herman Henry says David Keith is also in Brubaker. Did you ever see Brubaker with Robert Redford?
Mm-mm.
I hope not.
That sounds like something you make. Yeah.
It was a mid-level late 1970s, early 1980s movie that as well that
Hmm.
went on. Mitchell says, what about Clay Travis? Went to Vandy Law School. I'll take
Yeah.
Greg Abbott over Clay Travis any day of the week.
Yeah. They both went to Vandy.
Yeah. So does law school count as a Vandy alumnus?
I don't know. That's a good question because you have college athletes. I wouldn't say discredit their education, but Peabody is down there as well.
Right.
So I don't know. Depends.
Where are you going with the Peabody thing?
Don't the athletes go to Peabody and
How dare you?
I-
Not at Vanderbilt. They're smart.
okay? Well, I don't know. Maybe that's just rumor.
They're smart over there. All right. There's let's see. Oh, Johnny Depp. Nevada Josh says Johnny Depp went to Kentucky as well.
Well, would you consider him more than Ashley Judd?
I would. Would you?
Yeah.
Hey,
probably
today's
would.
Prime Day. You get anything good
I got a
besides this show?
I got a radar gun actually. It's for heat, a thermometer gun. It's pretty cool.
What?
Yeah, like it reads the temperature.
Okay. What do you stand in your neighborhood and then slow down?
No. It's for
Or a little
heat.
hat, little Keystone
No, it's
Cop,
where you can
Barney Fife.
No. It's for like an oven, so you can see how hot the internal temperature is.
You just fascinate me. Did you get it off Prime?
I did for like $30.
So why don't you stand in your neighborhood and tell people to slow down? Is your
Ah.
neighborhood a cut through?
No, it is not. It's actually a cul-de-sac.
It's a what?
Cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac,
Yeah,
okay.
At the end.
All right. Well, I think you need to these texters are great.
Oh,
I
boy.
think you need to stand in your neighborhood and with your little uniform and your radar gun.
Yeah, probably not.
Do you own a radar detector?
I don't. Should I?
Well, we did, or nobody used them anymore, but
Yeah.
everybody had one back in the day.
Should I just put out a sign in my front yard saying "slow down"?
Yeah,
Okay.
should do that. But you got to be dressed in uniform too.
Not gonna do that. I'm gonna scare my neighbors.
Why not?
I don't want to scare my neighbors
Why not?
because they're good people, Joe.
I love the people that text 4 hours after. This is some text for Robbie that I'm not going to read on the air
Okay.
through all that.
Any more famous SEC alums you got?
Johnny Depp with the Kentucky.
What about Florida?
Florida would be. There's got to be some, right?
Yeah, that's a very big state.
Gator Mike went to Florida.
That's not a celebrity
How do you know?
because is he?
I'll argue that Gator Mike is a celebrity.
Is he?
Yep.
All right.
In our hearts, he's a celebrity.
Yeah. Thank you, David James.
Okay. Sorry, Gator Mike.
But MTSU.
There's Joe
Hardy.
Deegan,
Everybody
Chase
likes
McCabe,
Hardy. Thinks he's a
Hardy.
Do you know a Hardy song?
Yeah.
Do you really?
I mean, I've listened to his music. It was like the whatchamacallit. It was like a conglomerate of like Morgan Wallen, Hardy, and a few other artists. They made like this like mixtape thing. It was kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll pull it up for you.
You
bro.
still didn't name a song.
I don't know names and songs off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
David James, you go to MTSU, David?
I did. True Blue.
True
For
Blue all the
life.
way. All right. David James, a famous alumni.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
go that far. No. That's deterring all famous alumni at MTSU.
disagree, David. You're award-winning, best
Yep.
smile around.
All right.
We'll take a break. So David beat you. He's beat you all week on
Yes, he
celebrity birthdays.
has. I need to really step up my game.
So, all right, coming up next, celebrity birthdays. What day is it? We'll put a wrap on this one. Why you turn your mic off again? I might ask you another question.
Okay, go ahead. Ask me a question.
How are we doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Okay, good.
All right.
You ready to do this thing?
We are.
All right.
All right. Don't forget tonight at the Omni National Hotel, if this bar could talk, if this bar could sing. At Bar Lines tonight at 5 o'clock, it's open to the public. Some of the best singer-songwriters in Nashville, Tennessee will be down there tonight. It's free. Bar Lines is absolutely wonderful at the Omni National Hotel. Go down there, have a great time tonight, and hang out and listen to some great music. Back with more, back with celebrity birthdays. And what day is it next? Right here, 102.5 The Game. All right, welcome back to the final segment here of the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game, brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel. We'll be down there tomorrow at the Omni Nashville Hotel. We got a soccer player join us, right? Who we got?
Eddie Tagseth, midfielder for Nashville SC, going to be with us tomorrow at 10
Night
a.m.
at 10 o'clock. James Austin Johnson, the famous comedian, does the Trump on SNL, will join us at 10:15 tomorrow, and maybe another special guest. We got a loaded show tomorrow from the Omni Nashville Hotel. Come by and see us. All those, they'll be on the phone tomorrow.
Indeed.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm pumped.
Hit it.
Let's do this thing. All right, celebrity birthdays is going on right now as I can get my read here.
You only had 5 minutes.
Well, just the computer turned off and went black.
Oh,
and
here we go.
I'm
The
serious.
computer.
I got it. I got
The rain
it.
delay.
I just can't help it. Can't help it. Celebrity Birthdays is brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. Jarrett Fire Division covers all your business fire safety needs. Go to jarrettfire.com, above and beyond industry standards. All right, first on the list today, we have, if I had to get rid of that pop-up, Call of the Horizon Day. So Horizon, like, you know, the sun.
Do you call it?
I guess you do. You
Okay.
can call it. Fashion Day is today. Joe is in great fashion as always.
Always.
National Don't Put All Your Eggs in One Omelet Day. I didn't know you could do that.
Don't put all your eggs. You don't know what that means?
I mean, could you not put all 12?
Don't put all your eggs in one omelet, man.
I thought it was one basket.
There's a deeper meaning off for that.
Really?
Yeah, it is. You need to look it up.
Oh,
Don't put all your eggs in one omelet.
is it an Urban Dictionary reading?
I don't know.
Oh, I just asking.
Keith Urban? No, he's
No.
Australian.
Okay. Last one, so we have National Sugar Cookie Day.
I'm not a fan of sugar cookie.
Yeah.
My A1C was really, really high.
Yeah.
My A1C was higher than Willie Nelson. And it had to be stopped.
Okay. Well, maybe.
Is that all we got?
Yeah, it's a short list. Only 4 things.
Okay. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. By the way, David James, you've done really well the past 2 days.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Not only award-winning, handsome smile, mover and shaker in Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, but a great producer.
Thank you so much. for
DVD's
that.
lucky to have you.
Yes, they are.
Maybe you probably fit better on the Chase and Big Joe show. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You ready? Nick,
Let's
you
do
go
it,
first.
man. Okay.
Great actor. He was in the original episode. Everything goes back to Miami Vice, which is the greatest TV show ever.
Mhm.
He was Crockett's partner on Miami Vice that got killed by a car bomb. Jimmy Smits. How old is Jimmy Smits today?
81.
74.
70.
Mm.
Dr. Green, you know who Jimmy Smits is?
No.
Thanks.
I told you, Joe. You could say a name. I gotta see the face.
All right, David James.
I see David James. I know who that is.
Okay. Tom Hanks. Today's Tom Hanks' birthday.
Hmm.
How old is Tom Hanks? Now, do we know who Tom Hanks is?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
in all the Polar Express. He's
Our
does all-
childhood.
yeah, I wouldn't say.
Give me a Tom Hanks movie besides an animated Polar Express.
Forrest Gump, man.
All right, thank you.
Come on.
All right,
Let's go 72.
65.
69. Wow. Courtney Love.
I've heard that name before. Probably would know who FSR.
She was
is.
married to Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, that's right. We'll go
Wasn't her band called Hole?
51.
Is that
Yes.
right? How old you say?
51.
Okay.
55.
She is 61 years old.
Wow.
So your little help back there didn't.
Yeah.
By the way, he's always wrong, so I wouldn't listen to him, David James.
Yeah, don't go cheating, Vingen.
Yeah. All right. Lives here in Nashville, just down the road. Jack White.
I went to a high school with a guy named Jack White.
Same guy.
I mean,
Same,
small
so
world.
you should know how old this Jack White. You ever heard of Jack White?
For Jack Black.
You never. Oh my God, you're the best.
Yeah.
How old's Jack White? Not your buddy in high school.
48.
75.
You've not heard of Jack White either?
I have not.
He's 50. All right, Nick, you got that. You're up 1-0.
Let's go.
You guys are the David. What year were you born?
1996.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know who this guy is. Let's go down on the list. Author Dean Koontz. Great. Not Stephen King's number 1. Dean Koontz is number 2.
Oh, 67.
70.
80. Actor Chris Cooper was in the movie. He was an Academy Award winner, was in the movie The Town. He was Ben Affleck's dad. He was the guy who was in prison. Chris Cooper.
61.
74.
74 exactly. David James up 2-1. TV personality turned musician John Tesh. Former Channel 4 news anchor John
Really?
Tesh.
John Tesh is, let's see, you're 56.
Thanks.
I want to go 68.
65.
73. Business leader Kevin O'Leary off Shark Tank, the bald guy.
54.
Mr. Wonderful is 79.
71. She was in the original Top Gun. Kelly McGillis. She was the flight instructor that Maverick fell in love with. Kelly McGillis.
71.
67.
68. David James up 3-1. Lead singer of Simple Minds, Jim Kerr.
Simple 65.
68.
66. It's
There
now
we go.
3-2. Good job, Dr. Crane. We got some more in here coming out. Actor Fred Savage. How old is Fred Savage from the Wonder Years? A show which I'm sure y'all have never heard of.
That's correct. 72.
61.
49. All right, we got 4 sports birthdays here.
All right. Pick
Former
up some-
Kansas City Royal outfielder Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson.
The alliteration should make you get it.
Okay. Willie Wilson. 65.
78.
70. Golfer Scott Verplank.
Never heard of him.
Maybe he's never heard of you.
He hasn't. I know for a fact he hasn't. 70.
82.
61. All right, we got 2 left. It's 3-2. David James. Oh my goodness. Good announcer, former quarterback at Indiana, Trent Green. And had Trent Green not got his knee blown out in 1999, there would not be a Kurt Warner. Trent Green.
59.
64.
55.
Mm.
Our last birthday, a guy near and dear to us, especially David James. How old is former MTSU and NFL quarterback Kelly Holcomb? Today's Kelly Holcomb's birthday, the pride of Lincoln County, Fayetteville, Tennessee. How old is Kelly Holcomb?
56.
48.
Oh, right in the middle. He's 52. You lost again.
Man.
3-peat.
You're 0-3 to David James.
Boy. Not good. Not good at all.
That's not good at all.
No.
Not good at all.
I'm going to go get my head examined, and hopefully things will be okay tomorrow.
Probably not. Probably not.
You tried your best. That's all that matters.
I mean, I'll stand on that hill, though. Cam Ward is a top 15 quarterback.
All right, good.
It's a
all right.
small hill.
It's not a could anymore. He is a top 15. I'm changing. He is a top 15 quarterback.
Gosh,
I like the
I'm
confidence.
Clipping that.
You should have that confidence in celebrity birthdays, which you don't have. Do that in there as well. All right, that's it for our show. DVDs next. As we leave our show every day, we tell it to our guys out there, if you are struggling, going through a lot of things, please talk to somebody. We ask you all the time. Once you open up, talk to somebody, you feel a lot better. Don't carry this around with you. That's why we are here for you. Know that we love you. God loves you. On your cell phone, you can call or text 988. Somebody's always there to talk to you. Reach out to us. We're always here for you. I'm telling you right now, our world is a better place because you are here. You are tremendously loved. Please know that. DVD's next.